What we're gonna learn. Okay, just be careful when you use CMU mobile to access this. Sometimes the system was broken. I don't know. Some student told me that when students scan, but your ID not in the database. But I'm not. I try to double check as much as I can. This Lu, who is you? Feng Lu. Okay. Normally I just wait for like 1:10. I'm gonna start. Okay, it's almost 10. Okay. This class we're gonna learn about knowledge management. Okay, I'm gonna use the whiteboard first. Okay. Internet. Okay. Anyone back to review the Zoom that I record? No. Okay. This class, we're gonna learn about knowledge management, but can you get what is the knowledge meaning? Something that you know. Okay, you say that something that you know and understand, right? What else? Something that you believe and what? Solve the problem. Okay. So what? Awareness. Okay. Something that anyone has done more than this? Do you agree? Okay. The knowledge that you believe or you know and that understand and awareness. And then what do you think? We just talking about the meaning of the knowledge last class that we're talking about, but on slide, the first slide that I asked you to remember the component or perspective of the KM. How many perspectives that I asked you to remember? 3. Okay. 3. So we're gonna back about the meaning of the knowledge. 3. Good. Okay. So today we're gonna continue. Okay. First, second, third. I ask you to remember, right? the first slide. Okay. What is the first perspective? Okay. People. When you said the knowledge is you know, you understand, you believe, you is mean people. Am I right? Okay. What do you think? Why the people is one of perspective of the KM? Why? Because knowledge. Because the people belong the knowledge, right? And last week, I just talking about the first perspective, that people. And the next perspective that I ask you to remember, organizational process, but we're gonna talk later, okay? And the third on the slide, what is this? A technology. What do you think? Why? Okay. Why we have to use process for the knowledge management? Why we have to use the technology for the knowledge management? Okay, the first question, why we need to use process to or in the knowledge management subject? Why? Get the maximum of kind of process. Okay. What else? To run the organization systematically. Okay. It's quite close, not wrong. Okay. In my class, I'm trying to ask you a lot of questions. Okay, don't be afraid to talk to me. No, don't be afraid that the answer is going to be correct or incorrect. It's okay. We just discuss. Okay, for the next question, why we have to use the technology to store the knowledge? What else? Okay. This is that systematically. Okay. What else? Okay. Support the process, right? Effectiveness. Okay. What else? Today, we're going to know about the type of the knowledge. Okay. That you said the people belong to the knowledge. Okay, you can say that. Oh, we know, right? Something that we know, we understand, we awareness, and then we act. Last time we talked about use exactly definition of the knowledge is experience. How we have the experience, how we have the experiences, how doing, right? Practicing, right? Practice, doing, right? So when the people know something, believe in something, and use that your belief to act, to solve the problem, to do something, right? And last time we talked about the benefit of the knowledge management. Why we have to manage the knowledge? Because, for example, if in the organization we retire in 60 years old, right? Okay. And we has an assumption this, the 60 years old has a lot of experience, right? We just assumption that. And then we're gonna retire, they're gonna retire. They're gonna retire. So when they retire, they're gonna take the experience out, right? When they retire, they're gonna take the experience out with them. So the main point, but not just the biggest ones, but we need to retain. We need to retain the experience of that people inside the organization. That's why we need to do the knowledge management. We don't want to lose, right? We don't want to lose the expertise or some kind of experience from the specialists in the organization. Okay, that's why we need the process. We need a process to retain. We need a technology to support the process. We need a technology to store a knowledge inside the organization. And we also need a process and technology to transfer the knowledge, right? Transfer the knowledge. But when we transfer among people, right? Okay. Okay, this is, we talked about this last week, okay? And we talk a little bit of the word management, right? And we talk about when we manage the knowledge to be a system. So when we manage, we use the process plus the technology, right? That we're talking about. And then to be a system, to be a system that should be easy to learn, easy to apply. Okay. System like node, between node and have a relationship. Okay. Easy to learn, easy to manage, easy to apply. And we talk a little bit of how to transform the data to be the information, to be the knowledge, right? And to be a wisdom. But we're gonna go in the detail just to remind you that what we have talking about last week. Do you remember how? How to transform data to be the information. Now, do you remember? We have to analyze the data or just give some meaning to the data. And then the data gonna transform to be information, right? Last time we talked about, oh, this room have a data like person, right? Person have a desktop, have a PC, have a board, right? iPad, share this data. And then we have to analyze in this room. Okay, we have 21 students. This is we analyze. And we deep into, oh, we have Thai, we have Burmese, we have Chinese. Okay, so this we have the information, right? Okay, so then how to transform the information to be the knowledge? Huh? Action. Act or practice, right? Act or practice or do. Act. When you act, you have to bring the information to act. Act on the information. For example, that we talk about, oh, we have 21 students, we have Thai, we have Burmese, we have Chinese. Okay, for example, if you would like to talk in the class, which language that we have to use? English, right? Okay, we have 21 students. Which room that we have to prepare? Oh, how many chairs that we have to prepare? More than 21, right? This kind of, we use the information to act. Okay. Sometimes we use the word information in action equal to the knowledge. Okay. Or you may call this is experience. Okay. Right. Okay. How to transform the knowledge to be the wisdom? Apply. Good. We apply on the knowledge. We apply the knowledge to another node, to another area, but still effectiveness. Okay, when we apply this, we come to be a wisdom that's still effectiveness, right? Effectiveness. That we talk about the case of the dentist, right? Okay, we talk about how many times that you brush your teeth. How many times a day? 2, right? But we discussed last week when you said 2 twice times a day. When? In early morning after you wake up, and then why? Why not early morning and afternoon? Or why not afternoon or evening after your meal? Why? Why you have to brush your teeth early morning after you wake up and before you go to bed? Huh? Because you eat all day. You can brush your teeth every day, right? All day, sorry. We discussed that. We believe that when we brush our teeth after we wake up, is effective or make your teeth healthy. Before you go to the bed, is make your teeth healthy, not after the meal, right? That's why this belief or this knowledge or this experience is like a best practice that we still use and effectiveness, right? This knowledge come from your parents, not from the dentist, right? It means that gonna be the wisdom. This kind of example or scenario to explain this, okay? Okay, back to our slide. This is a perspective that I ask you to remember, right? People is the first one that we're going to talk, okay? This class gonna talk each perspective, okay? We're gonna talk first perspective of the people, and then the next chapter we're gonna talk about process, and the last chapter we're gonna talk about technology. We have a lot of chapter on the process, okay, that we have to talk many steps, many tools, many tactic, okay? So, and last time I asked you to do the assignment. This people, no, this guy is, his name is Nonaka. We call his last name. Nonaka said that in this time, like in economy, okay, where the only certainty is uncertainty, but the one sure sources of lasting competition is knowledge. Do you agree with him? Why? Why you agree with him? Why we have to compete with each other with the knowledge instead of money? Why not just, oh, we have a lot of buildings, we have a lot of computer, oh, we're gonna be like, we can compete, we can be the winner. Why not? Why we have to beat or compete each other with the knowledge or experiences? Can you give example? Why? Okay, for example, like, for example, okay, back to the COVID-19, back to that situation. For example, at that time, if we have a lot of people, we have a lot of workforce in the organization, right? We have an organization. And this organization has 10,000, okay, 10,000 people work for that, okay. But this like do like manpower, use like a robot, for example, like a workforce that use just physical to work, okay, work like a labor, okay. But okay, COVID-19 effect. COVID-19 effect to this. What happened? Everyone gets sick with the COVID-19, cannot work, cannot go to work. What happened? What happened with this organization? The labor were sick with the COVID-19, cannot go to work. They have to go to the hospital. Someone is dead, right? What happened to this organization? They have a 10,000 workforce. What happened? Lost, right? Might be lost some income. Or not just the COVID-19, like some disaster. This organization got fired or flooding to the machine. What happened? The blackout, not have any electricity. What happened? If we run or compete each other with a scale base, like with a machine, a lot of machine, or we have a lot of workforce, maybe we not win, right? We not win. But if we beat each other with experience, can you give me that example? If we beat other with a idea, knowledge, innovation. For example, Apple, Samsung, what else? Huawei. What they beat each other. They beat with the new idea of technology, right? How about AI? ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek. They beat with the amount or the version of intelligence of AI. Okay, clear with this? So do you agree with him? Are you sure? Okay. And don't worry, we can discuss later. Maybe next class. Okay. So you can go to assignment in Mango and answer what is your experience, can be outside academic area. Okay, you can be like influencer, you can be like a dancer, for example, good in dancing, anything. Okay, but just write a sentence. Okay, okay. Let's discuss with this. How do you explain this knowledge? Okay, how to ride a motorcycle. Who can ride a motorcycle? Okay, lots of people. Who can ride a bicycle? Yeah, okay. I can ride a bicycle, but I cannot ride a motorcycle. Okay, can you explain this? How? In the term of, or in the subject, we talk about knowledge management. Why? And then what? How? Why? What? How? We use this question word a lot. Okay, how? How to, okay, we can do like bicycle because everyone can ride a bicycle. How to ride a bicycle? Really? Okay, start. We have a break.
Yeah, so you have to do first.
It's an electric bicycle or a manual bicycle. Huh? Okay, we have to clear first. You're gonna ride electric one or a manual one? Manual? Okay. Electric. It's different, right? If you ride with a electric bicycle, it's different knowledge. We're gonna use manual or electric one? A manual, okay. Then first you have experience with the bicycle when you are a little. How many wheels that you got? 2, really? I'm not sure. When you were kids, for me, 4. When I start to have experience with the bicycle, I ride on the 4 wheels. But some kids right now, they use 2, but they use a leg. Okay, you said that first, you sit on the seat, okay, and hold the hands. And then, huh? Agree with you? You agree with that? Okay. Who else? Any experience? Walk first? Really? But for me, just try, but someone help me to hold. See, when we discuss one topic, have many knowledge. Different person, different knowledge, different experience. So when we talk about the knowledge, nothing wrong because based on the experience, right? But that experience should be effective, can solve the problem, or efficiency, okay? I just discussed last week with Thai section. Okay, cook an omelette. Who cannot cook an omelette? I think the basic one, everyone can cook, right? Okay, how to cook omelette, not just a fry egg, omelette. Find the ingredients first. Okay, good. Duck egg or chicken egg? Huh? Chicken. Why not duck? Really? Okay. Someone, when you sometime when you eat outside, some restaurant use duck egg. Why? Okay. Okay, then how many eggs that you use? 2? Why 2, not 1? You eat yourself. 4? Lou? A lot. 4 for omelette. 2? And then what? How? Crack. Okay, crack. Then stir. How many? How many round? Use a fork or spoon? Fork. Why forks? Why not spoon? Huh? Okay, depends on what you have. And then what? Stir, and then you put something inside? Sauce? Huh? Chili? Onion? Who pour water? Some people do. Milk, toasted milk, a lime, yeah, Pami said lime. Why? It's crispy. Yeah. See, a lot of experience, just one menu. But every process to cook an omelette is delicious for you, right? But someone cannot eat your menu. See, okay, you understand about how to how to how how to how to like elicit, how to recognize your experience right now. They have a process inside and different experience, different method of each person. Okay, how to swim. Do you think swim in the sea or swim in the ocean, swim in the swimming pool is different or the same? Difference. Okay, if you say that different, how to swim in the swimming pool? We not talk in the sea, we not talk in the ocean. We not talk about scuba diving. We talk just swimming pool. Okay, how? How to just chain and then jump, or someone kick you in the swimming pool. In Thailand, we call like a dog swim, right? The first time that we try to swim, practice, but someone else just like hold some board, right? And you try to hold your breath, right? And then try to step the feet. Lots of practice, but I heard from my parents at that age of my parents, they don't have like a school to teach about swimming. They just someone kicked them into the river and then try to survive, and then they get how they know how to swim after that. Okay. Okay, how to create website. You can right? But if you don't have, back to the basic. How to code, right? How to code, how to find the URL, lots of things. Okay, get the requirement first from the user. How to produce online game. Anyone has experience with this? Is it easy or not easy right now? I'm not sure. Okay. This is some definition. Okay. the knowledge that we use the word experience, okay? Experience. Experiences. Okay. I think it depends on the internet. Why I cannot write on the information in action. Right? That's equal to the knowledge or experience. Okay. And this some definition that insight, understanding that you discussed, practical, okay, or act, and know-how. Practical on the know-how. On the know-how. And we is mean the people gonna process, okay, process using definition of the knowledge. Okay. But usually we're talking about the experience of the people. Right? Another definition is experiential or individual value, perceptions, and experience. Remember that we discussed about the omelette or a bicycle. Okay, because different person, different background, different experience. Okay. So, and the definition of the knowledge on the ISO. The ISO 30401 that we got from the KMS. Okay. We is mean camp got this ISO. This definition ISO define the knowledge is human or organization asset. Okay. The knowledge is mean the human or organizational asset, but enable people to make decision, enable people to act in that context. Okay. When we make decision, we need to use some experience or use the experience asset, okay, to make decision, to act, to solve the problem, to act, to solve the problem. And knowledge can be individual, can be a corrective in the organization as an asset, okay? And the experience on the knowledge is acquired through not training. No more training in our subject through learning or experience. Okay. What do you think why I said that no more training in our class? When we talk about the knowledge management system, why we have to talk about learning? What is the difference between training and learning? What do you think? Sorry, training? Training is for fundamental or basic one. Learning for the advanced or like, I would say, for the expertise one. What else? What do you think about training? The activity in training. Have you ever training? Huh? Both. Have you ever training someone? Do you think when we join in this class, you learn or you train? You be trained or you learn or you be trained? Learn, right? Okay. How about train? Train assignment. Okay. Train is like do a routine. We not talk about training. We're gonna talk about workshop. We're gonna talk about change management, change behavior. When you learn, you think you're gonna change behavior? Yes or no? Maybe. Okay. When you learn, you have to think about not just how. You need to think about why. Okay. For example, back to I don't know, just back to the topic that we talk about, bicycle. The start that if you remember when you ride on the bicycle, can you ride at the first time or just collapse, fail? And then if you not learn, you're gonna do the same, right? You're gonna do the same and you might fall, right? But if you learn and know why you fall, you're gonna know how, why you fall when you ride a bicycle. Why? You don't know how to control, you don't know how to balance, right? But after you know how, after you know why, the reason, you're gonna find to figure out how. That is mean you learn. Am I right? Yes. If you got F some subject and then you have to re-register again, you're gonna do the same thing that you got F, or you're gonna make a new method to learn to pass, right? It's mean learn, change your behavior, okay? Okay, so type of the knowledge. I remember that I upload the video clips of this chapter for you last week. Anyone look at on that video clips? Okay, how many types of the knowledge? How many types? Two or three, four? Hmm? I just heard, okay. Two, I guess this is an iceberg on Titanic. Anyone know the movie Titanic, right? Okay. Which one that you think you can see with your eyes? Above the sea level, right? This side, that, oh, this. That you can see by your eyes above the sea level. Okay. This is one type. And the second type is under the sea level. Okay. When you see with your eyes, you can read, okay? You can touch. You can see like an object. We call explicit knowledge. And the next types of the knowledge is tacit knowledge. This you cannot touch. We call that intangible asset. You cannot touch. You cannot see with your eyes. In the people, in the human mind, inside experience of the people. Okay, do you think that amount of the explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge, which one is much more than each other? Which one is more than tacit? Why? Is correct? Because you can see from this picture, right? It's tacit is more amount. Why? Guess. Why? Why is too many tacit knowledge? Yes, correct. It's personal knowledge. It's deep. Sometimes when you have explore or you got a lot of experience, can you explain to other people? Yeah, no, right? Because it's deep. It's difficult to explain, right? This is the first reason, the biggest reason, because we don't know how to explain what our experience, right? Sometimes you don't know how to explain why we have to put the lemon into the omelet. Just I love to squeeze some lemonade inside the omelet, right? Sometimes it's difficult, but sometimes you don't know how to explain that why you love to do extreme sport. some tactic. Why you get A every subject? I don't know. It's difficult to communicate, to explain, right? That's why that a lot of percentage inside. Okay. So this explicit knowledge look like the shape is rationalized knowledge. You can see like if then else, for example, if then blah blah blah, because, how, why. Okay. Only information on Google is explicit knowledge or not? You think everything I talking about the website, not talk about AI yet. Do you think is everything on the website, on the Google, Baidu, lots of search engine is a knowledge? Yes. Are you sure? Are you sure? Everything on the website you can use to solve the problem effectiveness. No, not everything, right? So, and then do you think everything or answer from the AI is a knowledge? Can you trust the answer from the AI? No. So it means that the explicit knowledge, you have to criticize on that first, is rational rights. Okay. And when you use it, still be use effectiveness. You can follow. Okay, last time that we discussed why we have to learn from the specialist or why we have to learn from the expert. Why we have to apply from the explicit knowledge? Why? This makes it. Ajahn M always ask the question. Okay, let me introduce myself again. Ajahn M. Why? Why we have to learn or use or apply from the explicit knowledge? Whyคะ? Yeah, why we have to learn from the specialist, right? Why we need to apply the knowledge or experience from the specialist? You said that the basic one. Just follow that way. Try to apply, not cloning, okay? Why? Again, why? We don't need to try on an other, right? We just follow them. We follow them by the best practice or something because they have used to face with that problem before. He or they or she used to solve that problem before and effectiveness, right? We just apply and follow, but not copy. We cannot like actually copy that, but we can modify. Okay. How about tacit knowledge? How about tacit knowledge? Yeah. Right. It's difficult to explain, right? Your talent, your expertise, but difficult or hard to communicate. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to write down. I don't know how to explain. For example, if you learn from Ajahn Pachara or Ajahn Pen, he sometimes it's difficult to explain how. Right. Okay, what do you think? Any reasons why we have this reason, right? Hard to communicate. But I would like to discuss with you, what do you think there is any reasons why this 80% still so much more than explicit knowledge is 20%. The first reason is for the tacit knowledge is still in the human mind. Is about we don't know how to explain, right? What do you think? Another reasons? Gets it take time. Good. Anything else? It's because some knowledge, some experience take time. We cannot explain just 10 minutes. It's about hard to communicate. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? I'm the best one. I'm the only one that expertise in like travel to Mongolia, for example. I'm the one. And I'm only one that can do like beat the extreme thing in Mongolia. And I want to be the best person. I want to be the only one that be the best about Mongolia traveler. I don't want to share. Can be the reason. I don't want to share. I want to be the best. I don't want anyone to be the best, right? Me. I don't want to share. Can be. Do you think we have this kind of person? Yes. So not just hard to communication. Another reason that someone do not want to share. Right? Keep in secret because I want to be the best. So now, how many types of the knowledge? 2. When you write down explicit knowledge in the book, should be active one, okay, effective. But the tacit knowledge still too much percent because it's difficult to explain, right? We cannot explain in 1 minute or 10 minutes, right? Sometimes that we take time to have experience. And another reason, but not just big get one, that expert don't want to share. Okay, the tacit knowledge still in the human mind. It still be the people experience. Okay, that's why that too much percent more than explicit knowledge. Okay, tacit and explicit. Tacit is inside the human. Explicit is already out. You can touch. Okay. So IA is individual assignment. I'm going to assign via the Mango Canvas, okay? Just give the example of your tacit and explicit knowledge. Ajahn M, can I write down on the PowerPoint? It's up to you. Can I write down on the Word Office? It's up to you. Can I record the voice? It's up to you. Because I open that you can submit in many platforms. Oh no, in many tools and method. Okay. I'm not create the deadline yet for the first chapter of us. Okay. Just waiting for we get things settled, just pass the registration time, and then we can talk about the deadline. Right now, can you get some idea of your tacit and explicit knowledge? You can do like the example with that we discussed, a sport, a cooking, a travel, lots of things. Okay, not just thing in the academic area. Can be like entertainment, can be like sport. Okay. Okay. We just discuss a little bit and then we can end off the class for today, because I promise you that I'm going to start around 10 minutes after we starting the class, and then I'm going to stop about 10 minutes before we end up, because you have to go to another class, right? I'm not sure. For me too, I have to go upstairs. Okay. We discussed a little bit of this before, right? Where is the knowledge from? Okay. We said that the data is a raw data, a fact, raw and fact, right? And if you would like to transform, yeah, we analyze. And this kind of something that you analyze and you have some meaning on the data. Right? When you would like to transform the information, you just act, practice, do whatever, a verb on that, right? And then apply. And still solve the problem, still effectiveness, right? Okay, so we have the example of this case. Planning for an evening movie. Okay, which movie that we can see right now? We can watch? No, right? Everyone that might have no experience to the cinema, you just watch the movie via the Netflix or streaming. In my age, I have to go to the cinema, to the theater, and buy the ticket and watch a movie. But right now, you're just waiting for a streaming on the Netflix. Okay, you might not have experience on that. You might, I'm not sure. So it's me. Okay, I'm gonna go with my friend to watch a movie. Okay, the question is, which one is data or information or the knowledge? Number one, I can't leave before 5. So I will go to the 7 p.m. showing at the cinema near my office. Number 2, which one is the data? Okay, movie listing giving the time and locations of all movie being shown today. I download the listing. Okay, which one is data? Which one is information? Number 3, at that time of day, I will be impossible to find parking. I remember that the last time I took the car, I was so frustrated and stressed because I thought I would miss the opening credits. I will therefore take the commuter train, but first I will check with John. I usually love all the movie he hates, so I want to make sure it worth seeing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, which one is data? 2. Which one is information? 1. Which one is knowledge? Good. Good, right? Data is about, oh, the content is a fact. It's a fact, right? But me, I download the movie list from the website, a fact, okay? A fact. And this is information, oh, I can't leave before 5, okay? But I gonna go to the show at 7, but should be next to my office, okay? Analyze on that. So we're gonna look on the data that showing at 7 p.m. Okay. This is the experience, right? The last time I remember that I used the car and a lot of traffic. Right now, I recall my experience that I act. Oh, I'm going to use a subway instead of drive a car. This is knowledge. Recall from action, got experience, right? Okay, how about wisdom? Go to another entertainment event, and hang out with your friend, work outside company. Okay, this wisdom apply. So this is a definition of the data, fact. Okay, fact. Nothing changed for that. It's a fact. It's raw fact. Okay, and then if you would like to transform, the internet was lost. Okay, it's just analyze on the data to be the information. Okay, and then you just act on the information and then apply. The knowledge is about the information that has some a process of action, thinking, practicing, decision making. That's why sometimes that we call the knowledge is information in action. Okay, and then when you apply the knowledge to other node and create some value, some advantages, okay, that become wisdom. So I'm going to stop at this time, not create this. Okay, later. Any question for today? Any question? Do you speak so fast? No. You may not familiar with my accent, but you still get used to later. But I'm record for you, and I'm gonna post to the YouTube, and then you can learn learn by yourself again if you want. Okay. And I always no, and I'm also upload the clip video that I record of my teaching, not from the Zoom, for you too. Okay, any question? No. See you on this Thursday to continue the chapter 1. Okay, see you on the next Thursday. Bye bye. Thank you. And